Well, that's because like dealing. Because I don't know what's your experience. Because it's actually be interesting to like, talk to you about that just for a second. Because you've probably done it all as far as like the stem cell goes after and before. I just noticed like my buddy Mike, who you've met by now many times, right? Been him in Turkey. Like
Mhm.
mention started because he gave his shoulders the 30 days break, and he been in pain for all his life as soon as he
Yeah,
whenever he got the surgery. And after 30 days, he's definitely a brand new man with the
yeah,
shoulders. So I'm like, that's why I kind of wanna like my treatment spots do feel better now, like a year later.
yeah,
But I feel like my problematic spots, I kind of want to give that 30 days break. But I'm pretty sure Levon gave it even bigger, right?
yeah.
What's your opinion?
Well, most of the experts say that a good deal of rest allows them to do the most amount of work. And the treatment is expensive. So you want to let the treatment do its work. I think that most experts, they say, minimum, give it a few weeks, a minimum. I've heard people say months. Um, to get to maximize the effect of the stem cells. But there's a balancing act there, like if you believe that we're only going to live so long, you don't really like to be on the shelf for too long. And I think that the big issue with the stem cells is that you don't want to damage the stem cell, or the assumption is you're getting the stem cells because you're injured, right? Like you're getting the treatment because you have an injury. So you don't want to start up again and not have the treatment work and continue to injure the area. But I think if you can be really, really responsible, like you can probably continue to train so long as you don't re-injure the area, you probably can. That's typically what I did. Typically what I did, I'd get the treatment and I would just do like blood flow exercises for a couple weeks, before I started to push with heavy weight or bad form or anything, or I wouldn't get on the table and arm wrestle and give myself a little break. And I found that worked quite well. And I could feel the effects of the stem cells always right away, like right away. I mean, people talk about it takes months for them to do their thing. I always found it was almost instantaneous. Like I felt like the next day I would feel better, and within like a week or two, typically like massive, massive changes. Interestingly, when people talk about stem cell, I've also heard them referred to as medical signaling cells, because it's not just about the cell itself, it's about the cell's interaction with all the surrounding tissue. And it's like they tell everything to wake up, everything in the area gets told to wake up, to rejuvenate, to get reinvigorated. So it's tough, man. I look at you can take stem cell and it's always good news. Always good news. You know, it's just, can you afford it? You know?
Right.
Yeah. I mean, I'd be pumping them into my body every day if I could.
Okay, I got you. So with that being said, so you don't mind the blood flow, right? Because there is some. Because from my understanding, there's also a concern about like having no blood flow, right? Because they're like uproot in a certain spots. You don't want to flush them out too.
Yeah.
So you,
Yeah. I've heard those things as well. I've heard those things as well. Yeah.
but so in your opinion, you just rather not injure, but you will do the blood flow.
Yeah. And I know that the it's a thing, it's a balance, okay?
Right.
Like if you really
Me
want
and
the stem.
me and Doctor CJ discussed it. She almost said like you almost wanna you do the light isometrics. You pretend you're an older woman trying to like walk again. Just light work, like light isometrics. I'm like, okay, isometrics almost seems like not as blood flowy almost. So yeah, I think you're right. About the balance, whatever the balance is right for your body. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, I understand for the stem cell, you want to rest and not do anything and not uproot them. I get that. But at the same time, you do have your body consider, like you are still training. Like, how much of a break do you want to have? Like, um, they do make a difference, training or not. Like, any way you cut it, it's good to have them in there. Um, yeah, yeah. It's I wish I had all the answers.
Well, no, I just want to hear from your opinion because, like, now that me having that clinic and dealing with a lot of clients, there's
Yeah,
a lot of experiences. It's a lot of based on experience, like things and like reading all the studies and like kind of
yeah.
see. And you're you're a good case study over here.
Well, I've done a lot of them. I've done a
Yeah.
lot of them, and I've done them in different times. I've done them, at the end of my training, which is great. And when I say end of the training, I mean like before I compete. So like if I'm like 2.5 weeks from competition and like I'm a little bit beat up, get filled up with stem cells and all the parts that are like kind of damaged, and then pretty much rest until competition. And I find that in those instances, I've come into competition really good, really, really good. And at other times, I've had them done after competition when I've been beat up and hurt. Like for example, when I pulled Levon and I tore my bicep, I had them injected into multiple spots, including the tear. And I rested for a little while, as long as I could. I couldn't rest long. I think I rested about 2 weeks, where I think I did almost nothing, and then I went and then I started my training like crazy, and that was good. Also, I felt like I was massively helped by that. And then I've done the mid season as well, where I'm like working hard and like I've just gotten like a top up. Like I've just got them in my joints and in all my muscles. And I only did like a couple days, few days of blood flow, and then right back at hard work. And I felt like that was good. Like it's never like it's, oh no, they didn't work for me that time. No, they always have worked. It's just and I've been lucky that I haven't had to use them for an injury that was so bad that, prevented me from being in that competition kind of mindset. Like I've always been looking at stem cells and regenerative medicine from a competitive athlete standpoint.
Okay.
So I never took like a really prolonged break, even though most of the specialists said that was the most effective way to do stem cells.
Got you, got you. All right, that's interesting to hear. I still would like for you one day. Well, it's my goal nowadays, so you can come down here and get treated
Yeah,
by our doctor CJ. Yeah, because a lot of people that treat by lots of like similar places you've been to do like our spots the most because CJ does really good work as far as getting to your joint. I
I
mean,
heard that.
see how it goes. Yeah, yeah.
I
So
heard that. Yeah, that's what
I
guys are
said it to you
saying.
before many times, and now like I keep building up this client so they can say the same thing.
Yeah, yeah,
So we
yeah. And
excited.
that where is that? Is that
It's by me.
in?
It's in Florida. It's 1 hour from me in by Daytona Beach area
Okay,
out
okay.
there in New
Well,
Smyrna. So whenever you come
uh,
down here,
yeah, yeah. We'll figure it out.
we'll
Yeah, that'd be
get you.
great.
Yep, yep, yep,
Awesome.
yep.